Hey guys, Noxa here, just with another Sims 4 build. And here I really was just aiming to do a split level house. So I really love the idea of split level houses. I like the fact that they're interesting. They're complicated. Like, they give you something to look at. So I really just wanted to do a split level house. So I did go, I brought the house up on pillars and then I took the floors away like you see there, and then I did a basement. The basement I sort of fiddled around, and then I was sort of like, you idiot, why don't you just do the floor plan above? So I ended up doing the floor plan above. So this build took me absolutely ages, so I'm really sorry about how fast it's going, but I did want to try to keep it under 30 minutes. Because, well, to be honest, I can't talk. Well, no, I can talk. I can talk for ages. I didn't want to talk for over 30 minutes. So there's me just doing the roofs. At the back of the house, I had a bit of a difficult time with the roofs, just for the fact that there was no supports for it. So I think it's because the pool was there, so it wasn't being supported, and it was a bit annoying, to be frank, but that's just how it is. I think I removed the pool to see why it was causing me troubles, and it still didn't work, so I was like, oh, it's probably the basement. I'm not getting rid of that, so I was just like, whatever. So I took the house a bit back and had an open veranda just on those two little squares. So there you can see I'm going to make that basement, like the open area in the basement, into like a little gardeny thing, and it'll have windows into the pool, so you've got the light of the pool plus the garden, and yeah, it ends up being really nice. I have these pillars everywhere just because I thought, why not? Makes it interesting, makes it something to look at. The lot is quite huge. I didn't expect it to take up the whole piece of land. However, I guess if you wanted to not use up the whole land, you could always do the bedrooms upstairs, same as the master bedroom. So that would cut out about half the house, and then you've got your lounge room, and then down to the kitchen and your basement there. So you could always do a second floor, and that would be easily done. Can make it even more interesting then. So there's me just figuring out the roofs. I wasn't sure what colours I wanted to do. I'm going to go into another scene soon enough because it just took me absolutely forever. There we go. So I ended up making the top middle roof purple, and the front roof, so the one that's most forward, I ended up making that a light brown, and it ended up looking very nice. So the brown that was in the middle just then, that's what I ended up making it. So it was good. I was happy with it. And then I've got those stone pillars around, so it does give the house a bit of character, which I did like, and I also brought them inside just to keep with that sort of thing. So there we go. So I've got dark wood at the front as well, just to give it a bit of contrast. More of a nice feel. So there we go. There's the colours I stick with, and then I bring the top of the roof out a bit more, yep. And then I have brown skirting boards just to make it look a bit more darker. So there's me adding the windows, and I've always wanted to use that window. I was so happy that I got to use that. I was so happy with the space that I was able to do it. I was originally going to put a plant box there, but I could not. I didn't really like it. I was going to say I couldn't fit it, but no, I fit. I didn't like it at all, so I ended up just putting plants at the bottom. And then I deleted these guys and then came back to them, and you know how it is when you build a house. So I'm so happy now that I get to use these circular little windows, just for the fact that I just was never able to figure out where to use them. So just putting in some windows there. And then that's where I realised, hey, I've got no way to get into the backyard. So I brought the room across again, and I was like, what was I going to say? I brought the room across, and I was like, okay, so now I can add a side door to it. So it's almost like a back door. It's close enough, really. And if this was your average size house, it would be the backyard. So I was just adding these little, what do you call them, like roof design things? I don't know what you call them, roof design things. Let's stick with that. So just adding them in just to, I don't know, go with this more like traditional cottage feel. So there's me just putting the grass in for the basement garden, and here I'm just putting in some dirt and some textures in just to make it look natural. I originally was like, oh yeah, I'll put bamboo in, and then I didn't like it. I ended up leaving one there, but the leaves did sort of cut through into the master bedroom right there, and I didn't like that either. So, but you know, I still kept it, so it's okay. Just adding the stairs. I ended up into the basement. I added the stairs just in the middle, and then I made 3, so it did take up a lot of the room, but I thought it separated the room quite nicely. So if you want to download this house or anything like that, you can always make the stairs a little smaller just to make room. I realised that I didn't have bathrooms in this house, and so I had to quickly add them in. So I added in an ensuite in the master bedroom, and I added in just a bathroom at the ends of the bedrooms. So here's me going into the master bedroom. Originally I was giving all the mats to every room just to see what the colours I was going to use for, but I didn't exactly stick with that. For instance, I have 2 kids' rooms there, but I ended up just making 1 kids' room and 1 guest room or a teenage room. And see here, I ended up going with browns and greens in this room. I don't know why, I always go with browns and greens, but it's just how it is. I also added a feature wall to this room just above the master bedroom. Master bed. And I wasn't really sure what colour I should do. I probably should have done a lighter green, but I ended up doing the dark purple that I did use for the roof as well. But now that I look back, I sort of wish I did a lighter colour. So just adding chairs. I was originally going to have like a seating space, but then I didn't have enough room, so just added 1 cherry and then made it all plush and cute. So I added the bookshelf because I felt like that needed something. And yeah, so just added heaps of plants. That's all I do. Whenever I have space, I just add heaps of plants, because who doesn't like greenery? Like, it's oxygen. You need that. So just adding a light onto the mirror just to brighten it up a bit. So this is all base game, guys. I did use a lot of, it was difficult though. But yeah, I only used base game just to make sure everyone could have a go at downloading. So just putting in some finishing touches, some paintings, probably a plant. Yep, there we go. I love the ferns. I'm so glad they brought that in. Just putting in some light wood. I was trying to figure out what the master bedroom would look best with, and then that I went with the rest of the house. So I tend to put in some dark concrete into here. I'm not sure if I changed that in the end, but I tend to go with a colour system. Originally I was going to do aqua, I think, or a brown or something, and I ended up going with like steel blue, black and white, which it was quite nice. I didn't mind it at all. When I put the light in, it really I was like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm doing. There we go. So yeah, I go with like a steel blue grey sort of thing. just to add some, I had to go into the floor plan view just for the fact that I couldn't get anything onto the walls. It was really frustrating. But, you know, in the end it all works out as per usual. Oh, I hate how the soap doesn't place. It gets so annoying. Oops, sorry for the vertigo. There we go, so I add some dark tiles in just for half the room as well, just to give it, I don't know, a bit of masculinity, I guess. And I add a clown picture there. I know that, like, whenever I used to go over my grandmother's or something, she'd always have this clown picture on her bathroom door, and it used to scare me, like, it used to scare me. But I don't know, I think bathrooms are so characteristic of clown pictures. I couldn't figure out what fireplace I wanted, and then I realised, hey, the base fireplace is actually like, it's got colours. So I ended up going with that, and now I actually use that for a lot of my builds. I was pretty surprised to find that that actually has colours, to be honest. So in this room, I tend to go for like a brown, a red, and a white sort of theme. So the brown comes from the master bedroom as well. And I tend to, I'm not too sure if I stick with it into the kitchen. I think the kitchen I make a lot of greens though, so a bit of a contrast. We'll see anyway. So I was trying to figure out if I could separate the room a bit, and then I was sort of like, no, I'll just make it as open as I can. So I put the bookshelf there. I ended up doing like this little war memorial thingy, just with some plant box things and mirrors and whatever else, which looked quite nice. There we go. Here's me trying to figure out what to do. Originally I put 3 and then it was in front of the door, so I was like, that's probably not going to be good. So there we go. I ended up going just for the 2. I was trying to figure out if I could bring anything up. Everything looked like it was floating and that wasn't good enough for me, so I ended up just doing this small little pot plant with a plant in the middle. And then I put a desk in. So you've got a computer in this room, you also have a computer in the guest bedroom. And I was trying to figure out how to put the photo frames in, but then I ended up just doing 2 and putting a couple of photos into it. Just sort of to make it look square and even. So now's me trying to figure out the colour. I ended up going with the red. I thought it was really nice, vibrant. I like red. So here's me, so I changed that mat into, I guess, bedroom, just for the fact that I was like, you know what, not everyone is going to stay a child forever, so, and if it is a child, then, I don't know, the child can sleep in the child room, you can add another bed in there if you really wanted to, but having a guest bedroom is useful, because you can just, I was going to say it's multidisciplinary, but you know, you get what I mean, right? You can use it for anything. I was trying to get these books to sort of align with each other, and then it didn't work out for me because if I used the 9 or the 0 key, just ended up making them uneven on the shelf, which I didn't like. It's just adding some junk, I guess you would call it, in just to make the room a bit more livable. Plants in there. Wasn't sure what paintings to use, but then I found that world painting and I was like, oh my gosh, I can use this. I can use this for a lot of builds. So now I've started integrating it into a lot of my builds as well, just because I like the thought of having a poster with the world on it. One day I aim to have like that poster and have like pins in it of everywhere I've been. I'd really love to travel one day. So here's the kids' bedroom, just scattering a couple of toys on the ground, because who doesn't have toys on the ground when they're kids? And adding a bit of character, putting some posters up, some artwork and whatever else. So I ended up going with really, I guess you could say primary colours, just because that seems to be the kiddie sort of thing to do. So now I'm moving into the bathroom here, and I tended to go with the colour coding that I did for the mats. I do use a lot of pink in this room, and I haven't used a lot of pink at all for any of my builds, and it turned out pretty well. I don't exactly like pink, to be honest, but I didn't mind it. So here I am just trying to integrate a bit more colour in. I wasn't sure what to do, because like I said, I don't like pink, so I didn't just want to keep with the pink, but I ended up keeping with the pink anyway. So I was trying to integrate a bit of blue in there just because I like blue. I was also trying to put in a chest there just to add some bit of detail in. Make it less boring, like bathrooms usually are, and I put a washing basket under it, and I thought it worked pretty well. So there we go, me just trying to integrate the bit of blue in there. And then I ended up putting in that poster, scary looking poster, I don't like that poster too much. I also put the rooster picture in it because although my grandmother had the clown, my nan had the rooster. So there was always a rooster in the bathroom. So here I was trying to figure out how to use, how to put the cabinets in that didn't exactly blend into the wall, but then I realised it doesn't even matter. So I just put them in normally afterwards. My mistake, I guess. So I ended up changing the windows just in this room just to accommodate the shelves a bit more. So you'll see that now, there we go. And then I ended up getting rid of a lot of those and just using one window. And I put in the others just to shed light in. But I ended up putting mirrors over them just as a mirrored splashback, which looked quite nice. So there's me integrating the red in again. And I put some lime and some white into it too. So I thought it was necessary. Oops, sorry for the vertigo grin. I'm just looking around the house to make sure everything was satisfactory by my tastes. So yeah, I don't know if the oven's going to work with that kettle. If it doesn't, just take the kettle off, but I thought it was a good idea to try to put the kettle in the oven. So there's me trying to use mirrored splashbacks in, and I tend to put it above just the window, so there's just that little gap in the window. I was trying to do like this colour thing, the shelves, and then it didn't really work out for me, so I was like, oh well, whatever. There's me trying to shed light in the basement. It wasn't really working out for me, and I didn't really want to put in any lights that come from the roof because I know that it'll just be a light sitting there in the space. So I tried to do them all with side lights, and I found some side lights that actually matched really well with what I actually wanted. So there's me just doing the little garden in there with a little chessboard. I thought that was a good idea there. And then I make this little music area with a microphone and whatever else. Your sim can use everything. I've played it. So I was trying to figure out what to do under the stairs that would actually fit, and then I was like, you know what? Let's try not to fit anything under there unless it's decor. So I didn't, just in case you couldn't get under the stairs. So I made everything accessible that needs to be accessed anyway. Okay, so I did put a computer. So this house has got 3 computers in it. So it's nice to know. I put a little dove just because I like it. I also put the aqua blue, which looked really, really nice with the red. I really like the contrast of it with the red. So I was really, really happy with this room. And so just doing a couple of gardening, but I like to think of it as a secret garden. It's not really a secret because it's very accessible. So I was trying to fit in a couple of flower pots in there, but I didn't really think they really worked out too well. So just doing some finishing touches in the house, adding some mats, putting some decorations in. Just trying to make it all look presentable, I guess, for you guys. I was really, really proud of this build actually. I spent so much time, if you can't tell. See, so there's me adding those little windows in just to shed light, although there is mirrors in front of them. And then just trying to finish off the outside, so doing some lime, doing some red, putting in some planter boxes. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to decorate the front of the house either, so this is just the barbecue area here. And the front of the house, I was like, what do I do? So I ended up just putting like a little fountain in there, just where the rock is. It doesn't glitch through anything, so I was pretty happy it just slotted in there nicely. I add a bar, and then I start doing the textures on everything, so go around everything with a dirt texture, and I put this pathway that's practically, well, it is the same as the front yard. So anyways, just doing the little outlining of the buildings, making the finishing touches. If you guys like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, even comment if you want me to do any builds. And I am absolutely perfectly happy to do you any builds and upload them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great day.